I hear you, sir.
All right.
Yes, Doc, good evening. We are here with you.
Good evening, sir.
All right. Good evening. I hope you had a beautiful day.
Serious traffic, sir. I mean,
This person that spoke now was be talking from Lagos.
yes, sir.
So Lagos and the traffic are inseparable.
Yes, sir.
So enjoy.
There's nothing to enjoy, sir.
No, you can't take the goodies in Lagos and refuse to enjoy the traffic too. All right. So I'd like to welcome you to this corporate finance, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So these are second class. I guess I'm right.
Yes, sir. You're right, sir.
So where did we stop in the first contact? Talk to me. Where did we stop? How many of you have? Is the same class I'm having research with, right? Same
Yes,
class
sir.
for research. How many
Yes,
of you
sir.
have gone? How many of you have gone online to look at my discussion?
We have traffic.
That thing is not traffic is no excuse. Oh.
Yeah, we'll do it, sir.
It's not to a will. You will be willing. Another one will come upon you.
We'll do it.
Because it's supposed to be a continuous thing. You're supposed to go there from time to time, just drop comments,
Okay,
and
sir.
then it's
So, what about this week?
which network said we got people talking. I think is it Glow or it's so they're talking. Okay. Yeah. So I'm there. I don't have no input yet. People are not doing well.
We'll make it talk.
Follow the Doc. This week we will make good our commitments.
This week is too long. It's fluid.
In the next 48 hours,
Better. That's more specific.
we on.
All right. So I'm better off with the next 48 hours. I want to have that discussion forum flooded with inputs. People should get talking. All right. So I know I stopped somewhere last time, and I told you where I'm going to start today. Yes. Ridiculous. Yes. No, that's a lot to do. Hello? Hello? All right, so we stopped at I made an introduction to corporate finance. I did tell you a lot about finance function, investment, dividend, all that. Today we are moving on to something else. I said I will be discussing beginning to I'll be talking about the time value of money, right? Who was in that class? Who exactly was in that class? Please tell me if I'm right.
Yeah, right, sir.
Please don't ask
But
me
we
to
don't
recap.
envelope money.
These classes are recorded. If you go to your if you are a regular visitor to the LMS, you'll be seeing these recorded classes. So it's not just necessary for us to go back. Kindly go to the LMS. I'm talking to Ngozi Fejoku and also Babatunde Bolarenwa. Please go and look at the recorded lecture on the LMS platform. You will see, you just have a recorded version of what we discussed. So,
Good evening, sir. I have tried to check for the last time I checked.
support, respond, please.
They are all there, sir.
You are now on mute.
Thank you.
I think
I know the support to the line.
this is support. I think a student just flagged that it's all there. So I concur that it's all there. However, if she's having issues with it, then we can assist her. That will be tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
You are now
Don't
mute.
cry for help. Your help has. Please, Ngozi, on the same page.
I will go back to double check because, like I said, the last time it wasn't there. I'll confirm. Thank you, sir.
All right. Okay, so right. Thank you, Babatunde. I think we can make progress. We are supposed to start looking at what we call the time value of money. You know, does money have time value? That's a critical question. And what does it mean, or what do we mean when we say time value of money? You know, we believe that the value of money, in a very simple sense, let's forget about the economics of it, but in a very simple sense, can you see my blank screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, we
In
can.
a very simple sense, we believe that the value of money deteriorates with time. You know, the fact that 1 naira today can never be the same weight. 1 naira 10 years later. You know, I used to start this class with an example. Let's assume that A owes B 5,000 naira and offers to settle. And offers to settle B in any of the following ways. A, 4,000 naira now in full settlement. And then B, 6,000 naira in 3 years' time. Advice. Did you look? Are you seeing what Are you seeing what I've written on the screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
So what do you have there? Can someone read it?
A owes B 5,000 naira. The offers to settle B in any of the following ways. Option A is 4,000 naira now in the full settlement, while option B is 6,000 naira in 3 years' time. Advice B.
Advice B. All right, and then okay, there's something that's not there too. Let me add something. Assuming interest rates, assuming interest rates today is 10%. Advice B. Let's assume interest rates today is 10%. Advice what B. Now, one thing you should know is that money has a price. Money can be bought and money can be sold. True or false? Now, somebody may ask me, can the medium of exchange be bought and sold? The money is the medium of exchange. How can we say that money can be bought and also sold, since money is what is used to buy things? Now, we're looking at money there from the perspective of capital, which is a factor of production that can be purchased and a factor of production that can be sold, you know. And then the price of money is interest. For example, when you borrow from the bank, you pay the bank interest. When you lend to someone, the person pays you interest for using your money. The person pays interest for the use of money, which means the exchange value of money is interest. Money is exchanged for interest. So, and also, remember, money has extrinsic value, and it also has what? Intrinsic value. Money has extrinsic value. I guess I didn't spell it well. Sorry about that. Intrinsic value and extrinsic value. Now, the extrinsic value of money could just be the face value of money. That's the face value. Face value or nominal value. If you present a 1,000 naira note, what do you see? You see 1,000 naira. So the nominal value of that thing you're holding is what? 1,000. That's the face value is what? 1,000. Then the intrinsic value of money is usually the purchase value. The purchasing power. In other words, the intrinsic value of money is what money can buy. If I hold 2,000 naira, let's say 2,000 naira, my hand, and a bag of cement is 2,000. What I'm actually holding is a bag of cement. That paper I'm holding is equal to a bag of cement. So if a bag of cement becomes 3,000, it now means that the 2,000 has become less than a bag of cement. And that is what we call the real value of money. And you also realized that money has a derived demand. Money has a derived what? Demand. In other words, you don't need money because of itself. The utility of money is found in what money can buy. That paper becomes the paper you're holding and you call money today. Assuming the government comes up with a policy and say that is no longer a legal tender, it will become waste paper. It can no longer command purchasing ability. It can no longer command purchase of goods and what? Services. So implying that money in itself is nothing except for what it can what? Buy. So what we're actually interested here in is not the nominal value of what? Money. What we are interested in is the real value, which is the now let me do another. Before we answer that question, I want to also let's look at real wage, real versus nominal wage. You know, I laugh at Nigerian workers who every day go about asking for nominal minimum wage. You know, keep pushing governments to increase the nominal value of what they can buy. And interestingly or remarkably, Anyway, let me just say that for want of a better word. No sooner had the government introduced minimum wage than one, they hike electricity tariff. Two, they increased pump price of petroleum products. Three, inflation spiral upward. Then the paper they added, the figure they added was just washed away by these three elements. So is it not better that you're collecting small change and things are okay, than you're collecting all the money in the world that ends up buying nothing with you? So the challenge of the Nigerian worker is not salary increase or wage increase, because that salary increase amounts to increase in nominal wage. They just give you more figure. Maybe they used to give you 3 digits, then now add a 0. It becomes 4 digits. And the 4 digits becomes worthless, more worthless than the 3 digits. You know. So the issue here is, let's look at money for what it is. Money is not just the nominal cash. Money should be looked at the against the backdrop of the value it commands, the purchasing capacity it carries, not just the nominal value. So in the light of that, okay, so if you're looking at real wage versus nominal wage, let's assume in the year 1980, somebody was earning 2,000 naira as salary. Somebody earning 2,000 in 1980 was a very big boy. And today somebody is earning 2 million. You might think 2 million is far greater than 2,000 in 1980. But wait, let me shock you. In 1980, how much was a bag of cement? Does anybody know? All these people that way. Does anybody know what a bag of cement was in 1980? Please, if you were born, all this ice cream and meat pie generation, don't talk. Let the older ones talk.
25 naira.
Huh?
25 naira.
25 naira. Are you sure? No.
It was 3 naira.
It should be far less than 25 naira.
It was 3 naira.
The person that spoke last, do you belong to the ice cream generation?
Yes.
Shawarma generation. let's allow the cow and gates generation to talk. Okay, the bata and cow and gates generation talk. They said 3 naira. Okay, let's assume 3 naira. Can we return to let's return to my screen. Now at 3 naira, let us look at the salary of these workers in terms of bags of cement. Now it means that the person that was earning 2,000 as a 1980, at the end of every month, took home approximately 667 bags of cement. Then the man that is earning 2 million today, when a bag of cement is about how much? Say 2,500, right? Am I right?
2,800. Sir.
Okay, 2,800.
Correct.
Okay, now my example does not look too good. Let's assume 1 million naira. Because 2 million is, how many people earn 2 million naira in Nigeria today? Very rare. 2 million per month.
Yes, sir.
I don't know how many of you earn that.
They're mostly politicians.
Now let's assume 1 million naira, which is also very rare.
In
Let's assume
the oil and gas.
Okay, let's assume a million.
Majors. Get
Let's
those
assume a million naira divided by 2,800.
357.
That means the person that is earning 1 million naira is taking home 357 bags of cement. Now, question: has salary really increased? Assuming this same person was working at 2,000 then and is now working at 1 million now, has his salary really increased? His salary didn't increase. What just happened was that
It didn't increase. It's earning less.
he is earning less. He's only earning more in terms of what? Nominal
value.
Yes.
But he is earning less in terms of what? Real wage.
Okay.
So, meaning that the best way to denominate or to measure money is what money can what buy.
But
Then, if we are going back to this question, let's advise B. Now, if interest rate is 10%, there is what we call discounting, which is where we are heading to gradually. Now, in discounting means bringing to present the future value of expected cash flow. Discounting means what? Bringing to present. I like you to follow me. Those of you that allow background noise, cut it off. For your information, people fail corporate finance very well because corporate finance is entirely quantitative. It's a kind of exam. You walk into the hall, you have 7 questions, only 1 theory. The rest of the 6 are quantitative. So and I try as much as I can to absolve myself of every blame. I don't want any man's blood to be on my head. So what I do is I try as much as I can to simplify it and then do it in a manner that you have no reason to fail. So that if at the end of the day you fail, you will not call my name. You just have yourself to blame. So when we are doing this course, it is entirely quantitative. That is like a note of warning. So give it attention, follow the things I'm saying so that you can understand where we are coming from and where we are going. And I do know that there are a number of us who are not coming from the business school, who may not have good background of finance and its related matters. And I try to have a zero assumption of everybody. I assume you don't know anything about it. So I try to come down to a level where everybody can be carried along. Please don't miss me out. That's just what I'm trying to say, so that you can flow with me. I don't know whether that's okay. So I am taking my first definition now. What is discounting? Discounting means what? Bringing to present the future value of what? Expected cash flow. Now look at the example I gave. As simple as it may seem, let's try to give it a technical discussion. Now A is owing B 5,000 and offers to settle B in any of the following ways. Now 4,000 now in full settlement. Now you don't need to discount 4,000 because you are in year 0. You are paying now, and now is year what? 0. Right? Are we together? Please respond to me if you can hear me.
yes, we are.
Yes, sir.
Then this other man is going to pay 6,000 in 3 years' time. That means it will be in year what? The second settlement will happen in year 3. Now, in year 0, you don't need to discount because you are already in year 0. So there is no need to bring any future flow to now because you are already in the now. I don't know whether you're getting that. Then the next point is you are going to settle in 3 years' time. And then he is going to pay 6,000. Assume that today is 3 years' time. What will 6,000 naira be? That is what discounting does for us. We are assuming that we are bringing 3 years' time to today. If we close our eyes and open and it becomes 3 years, what will 6,000 naira be? And the only way we mathematically carry that out in finance is through what we call discounting. And then how do we discount? We discount with the prevailing interest rate. So the formula for discounting, going in small. The formula for discounting, we have what we call discount factor. Discount factor is given as discount factor is given as 1 plus R I'm coming, I'm getting a script. It's given as 1 plus R raised to power minus N. Discount factor is given as what? Are you seeing my formula?
Yes.
Discount factor is given as 1 plus R raised to power minus what? And I prefer this. The alternative is a bit more complex. Let me give you the alternative. Or you can say, let's take a fraction. Or it becomes 1 over 1 plus, let me get a script. Okay. Now it is either 1 plus R raised to power minus N or 1 over 1 plus R raised to power what? N. The two expressions are the same. Do you agree with me? Mathematically speaking, are they the same?
Yes,
Now,
they are.
because if you want to make it an inverse, if you make it an inverse, the power becomes you remove the negative in the power of N. So that's why 1 over this is same thing as 1 plus R raised to power minus what? N. So now when you get this discount, now this is what 1 naira will become in nth year at arrow rate of what? Interest. Every 1 naira becomes this in nth year at arrow interest what? Rate. Now this arrow can be called so many things. The arrow can be called cost of capital, rate of capitalization, and be called anymore. So that's R, and then N is given as number of years. N is number of what? Years. Let's go back to this question. A owes B 5,000, offers to settle B in any of the following ways. Now 4,000 now in full settlement. Now that one is at year 0. So option A remains 4,000 times times 1 plus R raised to power
Hello,
what?
sir. We
N.
cannot see your screen. We cannot see your screen. Or maybe I'm the one. I cannot see your screen.
Is that the same for everybody?
No, sir, we can see the screen.
No, we can see your screen.
You can see it.
I can see the screen.
The challenge is personal. Okay, now option A is 4,000 times 1 plus. R is what? 10%, that's 0.1. And N is what?
Okay.
We are in option A, 4,000.
0.
Our N is what? 0, because we're in the
0.
base. So I solve this for me. Of course, you know that this will be 1.
One, yes.
Whatever you have the raised to power 0 will be what? 1. So it now means that's why I just deliberately did this. Because whenever you are in the base here, you don't discount. Because whatever the discount factor you apply, it will always give you what? 1.
Let me go from now. Let me see.
I don't know whether you're getting that. So in the base here, you don't discount. Because no matter what you do, your answer will be what? The discount factor will end up being 1. Any questions thus far? So that means in that base year, the value, the present value will still be what? 4,000. The present value will still be 4,000. So that's 1. Then let's look at the next option. The next option is to pay 6,000 in what? In 3 years what? Time. Now let's bring in this discount factor. Now, this will be raised to power minus what? This will be raised to power what? Minus 3.
Minus 3.
Yeah.
Minus 3.
So what will be the discount factor? Work out the discount factor for me. The discount factor will be 1.1 raised to power minus 3. The discount factor will be 0.751. That will be 6,000 multiplied by 0.751. And that will be 4,507. Now it means that if A is to wait till 3 years, in real value terms, what you'll be collecting is what? 4,507 naira, as opposed to collecting 4,000 now. Okay, let's adjust this so that I can look better. Let's do okay. 5 is paying him 5,000 today. Or let's just do 4,800. Want a figure that will be higher. Paying 4,800 today, or ask him to wait till 3 years time to get 6,000. Now, whichever way, this will remain 4,800. So if this is true, now let's compare the two issues. If you are collecting 4,800 now, and then waiting for 2 years to collect 6,000, for your mind, you would think that 6,000 will be by 1,200 higher than what? 4,800. Without knowing that in real value terms, you are collecting less than what you are if you collect wait for 6,000 in 3 years, you would be collecting less than what you would have collected today. So the application here is precisely the issue of discount discounting. You know, so how do we deal with questions like this? We bring to present the future value of the expected cash flow, applying the appropriate discount factor. Any question thus far? Because I'm moving.
Okay, sorry, so please, how did you insert the formula? I mean, when typing it out,
I don't get that.
the formula, the 1 plus r raised power minus n. I want to confirm how you were able to type it out on Word actually.
Okay, I used equation editor. You go to insert, then click on equation.
Okay.
You have to know how to use equation editor. You write complex equations using equation editor. Any other question?
Sorry, sir. This is like a mathematical entry here. The discounting factor from this equation is equal to in bracket 1 plus r. Close the bracket, then minus n. But when we are now calculating the discounting factor times the formula.
No. See what you do. This formula was just for the calculation of the discount factor. You now apply the discount factor on the amount. Okay, that means, this is the discount factor. Okay, then let me say the present value. Let me help it. Present value, therefore, will be equal to A times discount factor. Is that okay? Does that make sense now?
Okay, sir.
And so when you are looking for the amount, the present value is now the amount multiplied by what? Discount factor. Any other question? Another question. All right, so let's this is one of the examples of the things we do with the time value of what? Money. So under time value of money, these are the things we'll be looking at. What do we do with time value of money? One is discounting. We look at compounding. We look at annuity, and we'll look at perpetuity. And these are the things we give attention to under the time value of what? Money. We have discounting, compounding, annuity, and what? Perpetuity. I like us to pick discounting and compounding together. Discounting and compounding. Discounting and compounding together. Okay. I've already defined discounting as what? As bringing to present the future value of what? Expected cash flow. You bring to present the future value of expected cash flow. That means in discounting, you bring to present the expected value of in discounting. It means you're giving a future value and you make it what a present value. While in compounding, you are giving a present value and you make it what a future value. So discounting is determining present value. Determining what present value of a future cash flow. While compounding is the reverse. Compounding is what? Determining the future value of a present cash flow. Discounting is determining the present value of a future cash flow, while compounding is determining the future value of a present towards cash flow. In other words, if you have a stream of cash flow in the present, adding the prevailing discount rate and then compounding the interest, each interest begins to yield interest. Like the interest in year one, yield interest in year two, interest in year two will yield interest until, and okay, let me just do a little, okay, before we get there, let's take it sequentially. So I want to say more about discounting. In discounting, we have discounting of a single amount, discounting of a single amount, and then we have discounting of a stream of cash flow, and then we have what we call multiple discounting. Discounting of a single amount, discounting of a stream of cash flow, and then discounting or multiple discounting rather. All right, so I've demonstrated the first one. What we did above using the A and B example is discounting of what? A single amount. So we've dealt with that. Maybe if we look at, maybe one will take more examples. We can. Then the next one is discounting of a stream of cash flow. Let us assume that ABC is expecting the following cash flows. We'll have year one, 20,000. Have year two, 30,000. Have year three, 40,000. And we'll say, what will the present value of these cash flows be if the discount rate is 35%. So what will be the present value of these cash flows if the discount rate is what? 35%. You know what to do. You just precisely, let's just create a table and then get it all worked out. So just, let's insert a table. Go to insert. We have year, cash flow, discount factor, present value. So the first one will be what? Year. Next one will be cash flow. We call this raw cash flow. And we have discount factor at discount factor at 25%. Then we have discounted cash flow. So when you multiply this raw cash flow by discount factor, it becomes what? Discounted cash flow. I will stay together. Now, there's something I don't want to tell you, but let me try and tell you. This discount factor has a table. There's a discount table, but I don't encourage students to use discount table. You know, if you can calculate it yourself, why waste time going to look it up in the discount table? So we have year 1, year 2, year 3. Then we have the cash flows are 20,000, 30,000, 40,000. And then the discount factor at 25% will be, let me just go back there and pick my formula. You remember our formula, don't you?
Yes, we do.
Okay. So place this here. And that will be, let's say our discount rate is 25%, isn't it? So we can just say 1.25 raised to power minus, for the first is 1.25 raised to power minus 1. Then for the second year, alright, so here will be raised to power minus, the first one will be raised to power minus 1, second one will be raised to power minus 2, the third one will be raised to power minus what? 3. You know where I'm getting them from?
Yes, sir.
Then this will be the discount factor. Yes.
Hello, sir.
I can hear you.
Sorry, let me take you back a little. I was lost in because of network why the formula was read out for the discounting factor. I don't know if you can help me with it again so that I can flow, please.
Which one?
The formula for discounting.
The formula for discounting is 1 plus R raised to power minus N. Or 1 over 1 plus 1 plus R raised to power minus N, where R is the rate of interest, N is the number of years. Out here, can you work this out for me? 1.25 raised to power minus 1.
0.8.
0.8.
0.800.
0.8.
And for the second year, 1.25 raised to power minus 2.
0.64.
0.64. Let's maintain a consistency of like 3 decimal places. 1.25 raised to power minus
0.512.
0.5. Okay, so what will be the discounted cash flow? For year 1 will be what? Remember, discounted cash flow will be cash flow multiplied by discount what? Factor. That will be what?
16,000.
This is 16,000. For year 2,
19,200.
19,200. For year 3,
20,480.
20,480. Now, can you notice something? Can you notice that as time progresses, the value of money progressively declines? Can you notice it? Which means money has time. We are just trying to establish that money has time what value. You know. So this can guide a making business decision. For example, if you're making an investment where you expect future cash flow, it will be very wrong of you to just use raw cash flow. So I want to buy taxi. Is it Taxify or Uber? I want to buy Keke or whatever. I'll spend 500,000. The person will be returning 20,000 for me every week. I'll count 20,000 by 25 weeks, and the money would have been completed. That's wrong investment appraisal. You are using raw cash flow. Always remember that the value of money as at the time you started that transaction cannot be the same thing as the value of money with, a week later. The value of money deteriorates with what? Time. It decays with time. So meaning the actual cash flow, what you represent the real cash flow, should bring into consideration the time value of what? Money. Are we together? So that is discounting here. So I'm just looking. We're just looking at instances where you can apply discounting in making decisions. Okay. Now, remember here we have assumed that the cash flow is annualized. True or false? Once we are getting into a case of what? Multiple discounting. Multiple discounting is when you have more than one cash flow in a year. But we have multiple. Let's assume, we're going to assume now. We're going to introduce an assumption here. Let's assume that this cash, as indicated here, would be coming half yearly. Now, assuming a flow above is coming half yearly. Determine the present value. When this happens, this is a case of what? It's a case of what? It's a case of what? It's a case of what? That will change. Now there'll just be a slight change. A slight change in the formula. And the formula now becomes, let me put it down for you. For multiple discounting, you just say this raised to power n multiplied by m, and then arrow. Let me convert this out to a fraction over m. Where m equals multiples of compounding, multiples of discounting rather. Multiples of discounting. No. Now, in when you are looking at half yearly flow, you are going to have 2 as your multiples of discounting. Am I correct?
Yes.
If it is quarterly, how many?
4.
4. If it is monthly, how many?
12.
Just take note of that. If it is going to be quarterly, it means your M becomes 4. If it is half yearly, your M becomes 2. If it is monthly, your M becomes what? 12. Now, so in this example, let's solve this problem. M is equal to what? 2. So let's apply this formula. We're going to use the first case. But in the first case, we'll have R is 0.25. R is 0.25. That's 25%. While RM is what? 2. That RN remains, which year are we in the first year? And then our M is what? Is 2.
Sure.
And with this, we get the discount factor. Let's get the discount factor now. Now you would say 0.25 divided by 2, then plus 1 raised to power 1 times 2 is 2, raised to power minus 2. So the discount factor
0.790.
0.790. So if you are doing multiple discounting in this circumstance, it becomes 0.790. So now that would mean for the first half, it means you will now have 4 of these. I hope you know that. You have for the first half, for the second half, for the third half. That's 2 of each one, 2 of each one. 2 of each one, 2 of each one. But I'm just going to use one example, a one-off example, so that I can move on. It will just be 0.790 multiplied by what? 20,000. That would be
15.
This would be 15,800.
800.
Alright, so let's assume that we quartalize. If we are quartalizing, give me the present value of year 3. If we are quartalizing, that's quarterly discounting. Give me the present value of year 3.
$42,500.
42,500. Yeah.
It's not correct.
Are you sure?
19,730.
19,324.25.
Yes, I'm listening. 0.25 divided by 4, then plus 1 raised to power minus 12 times 30,000 times 40,000.
19,325.
19,324.
No, 5.
Approximately 325. Yes.
5.
19,325 is correct.
Okay.
We'll say 0.25 divided by what? 4. Raised to power minus 3 times what? 4. Because your n is 3 now. And then m is what? 4. That's how to do multiple discounting. Any question thus far? Now, there's another thing you should note. Remember, in all these cases, like in this case of having streams of cash flow, they are not the same cash flow. 20,000, 30,000, each year has different cash flow. Assuming we have the same amount, 20, 20, 20 for every year, for the next 4 years, that leads us to what we call annuity, which is the next level of discussion. When you have the same stream of cash flow over a period of what time, and then you're supposed to discount it, you don't need to do it one by one. You need to do it together using a different formula, which is what we call the annuity formula. We will not be doing that today. All right. So, any question on discounting so far? Because I will soon stop.
No, sir.
When, like I told support, I almost did not hold this class, but I don't like missing classes. It's better I come and stay small and go than not coming at all.
Thank you, sir.
So, but I believe you've learned something. Did you understand what we did on discounting? I'm not going to do discounting again, except discounting in the sense of annuity. That's all I need to tell you. I've told you all I need to tell you here. Any question? And also remember that in this time value of money questions, you don't just have questions straight. Most times you have scenario questions. If somebody may ask you that a man is investing a certain amount of money, or maybe he expects himself to invest a certain amount of money into a venture over the next 4 years, and each year the future value is this. That bring to present the future value of this cash flow, or what would the value be if you were to bring 4 years down to today? So that's like a scenario question. What you see mostly will be scenario questions. That's why I say you should take time to look through your manual, be studying as we are talking. If there's any way you have a problem or a question, you feel very free to raise the questions. So, I think on that note, I'm going to discontinue the class very shortly if you don't have questions. But by way of a recap, I've introduced the time value of money, and I've told you that money has time value in that as time passes, the value of money changes. And this has implication in making financial decisions. And then the major areas we are going to concentrate on or look at with emphasis on time value of money are these things I've mentioned here. Now, let me just have heard of what is called loan amortization. We'll look at loan amortization, and then we'll look at sinking fund. All these are things we'll look at under time value of money. So those are the things I have to share with you tonight. In the absence of questions.
Hello, sir. Sorry, please.
Yes.
Could you please demonstrate how you inserted the raised to power, that minus n, in the formula?
This is Microsoft what we are doing now. It's okay, let me do it. You go to insert. Are you seeing my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Then remember, you have two things. You have equation and you have symbol. You're not taking symbol, you're taking equation. So you click on equation. When you click on equation, you have a box comes up. A box will come up here, and then it will bring out equation signs with which you write equation. Then if I'm writing, let's say, y raised to power 2, I'll go to script. Are you seeing my screen?
Yes, sir.
So when I go to script, I select, this is raised to power, superscript. If I want to make it a subscript, this is subscript. If I want to have dual script, that's both superscript and the subscript, is like this. Let's assume I want to have subscript, a superscript rather. So that's like R raised to power 2. And it stays, that's one word now. It doesn't stay separately, it's one word. Even if you move it down, it cannot be separate, it's the same word.
Okay.
You understand? So it stays as one word. Assuming I want to write more complex things like equation, I can use large operators like this. Yes, I have some of. Even I can convert this to a script. The manner that if I click this, I change it to a script. I can have, say, t raised to power 2 then where n is equal to I, and then k is equal to t. So if you write it that way, it stays as one word. This what I've written now is one word. It cannot be separated. Doesn't matter how you move it, it's still one word. That's how to write equation.
Okay.
Assuming I'm dealing with fraction, you can use this is fraction. No, you can if you want to write fraction. Let's assume I'm doing arrow over. I want to write now 1 plus 1. Okay, I want to do plus r raised to power n. I then go back here and look. I just put my plus. I go back here and select script to say n raised to power 2. That's the way it's done. And all these are just one equation. They are inseparable.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir.
This one is not corporate finance.
I have a question, sir.
Please go ahead and ask.
Do I take it that in time value of money, discounting and compounding are the same?
No.
Because you said next time you're going to annuity.
No. I said the next time we'll be looking at discounting, that we'll be looking at discounting from the perspective of annuity. That does not in any way mean that we've done compounding. Compounding is different. It has a different formula, it has a different connotation. You also have simple compounding, you have multiple compounding, and so on. Same way you have discounting.
Okay.
Okay, so please, I have a question.
Your question.
So please, on this exercise that we did, I want to ask: in corporate finance, do we take inflation into consideration when we are discussing the time value of money?
Well, when we actually factor, of course, you know that interest rate is a compensation for changes in value of money, and inflation is an extraneous, is an intervening variable when it comes to value of money. Remember, there's a relationship between value of money and price level. I hope you know that.
Yes, sir.
And then price level is determined by inflationary trend. So there's an interface between value of money and price level. So such that as price level, in fact, value of money and price level vary inversely. As price level rises, value of money drops, and vice versa.
Okay.
Any other question, please? Any other question?
No, sir.
All right. So thank you so much for your time. I'll also ask you to go back to your material, read through, go to the page and answer the discussion question I placed there. I placed the discussion question on research methodology. Please respond.
Please, I've tried to get those questions. I couldn't see anything.
Research methodology.
Is there?
That day, sir.
Is there?
We have this class is a combination of digital and analog. Those of you that are analog, convert it.
Yeah, this together.
Convert it. Upgrade. All right. Thank you so much for your time and have a nice restful night. See you so much. Good night.
Thank you. Pause the video for us.
Support.
You are now unmuted.
Support.
Yes, you get the video. It will be uploaded. Thank you.
All right.
Okay, thank you. I think you have had it. I didn't say it.
I've seen Ebenezer. Yes, of course. Yes.
Support said so. And when support talks, support supports.
Yes.
All right, good night.
Very good night, sir.
Right, good night.
Good night, sir.
Okay, sorry. Something I missed. Sorry, hold on for a while. My contact, if you don't have it, if there's a need for you to. This is distance and e-learning. We are expected to volunteer our contact, but don't call me when I'm in church. That's the only restriction. I've placed my contact details on the chat room, so you can access my phone number and my email address in case there's any question or anything you want to confirm. Probably you're studying and there's a need for clarification. You can give me a call. All right. And then also, in case there's any challenge, because not only do I facilitate these courses, I still take charge of, if you have gone to your web page, I take charge of content and facilitation in case there's any challenge. Please don't gossip with me. Don't come to tell me about any challenge that's not doing well. Just complain on official matters. So that's the point. So if there are issues, you can reach out to be of help. Thank you and bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Rob.
Good night, sir.